Hello, my name is Zachary Williamson. Welcome back to Beat the Rake DFS. We are a brand new channel, so make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button because it helps us grow, beat the YouTube algorithm. We do have a Patreon as well, so you can get in the link below. And with that, you'll get access to NBA, MMA, EPL. We also have all access where you get everything with the NBA. You get NBA ownership projections, NBA projections, cheat sheets, cores, access to DFS pros like myself. Same thing with EPL and MMA. You get projections, cores, cheat sheets, and access to people myself. EPL has been popping, and obviously the UCL is popping. Yesterday was a interesting slate. City put 5 by Sporting. I had a lot of City, didn't have a lot of Bernardo Silva, which is unfortunate. Really played well with that PSG game, was really happy with Thibaut Courtois. So I think I basically got most of my entries back. I got all my entries and a little bit back, but nothing too spectacular. But I'm excited for this one. And this is going to be like same slate, different like names, if that makes sense. So we do have a 2-game UCL slate with Inter Milan at Liverpool, and then Liverpool at Inter Milan, and then Bayern Munich at Salzburg. So interesting slates. I think it's going to be like a Bayern roulette. But we'll get into it. I'm going to start off with Inter Milan, and there's a couple guys I want to talk about. Lautaro Martinez is really cheap. Okay, I didn't load into a contest here, but we can check this out and go in. So like I said, Lautaro Martinez is really cheap here as maybe like a second forward option at 5,500. He's someone who stood up to me. It's probably going to be Perisic and Kalanganu. Hacken, we'll just call him Hacken because that's his first name. As kind of the guys on sets. I think if you were to see either of these for whatever reason, it would be Dumfries. But I believe that you'll probably see at least one of them. It'll probably be Hacken with most of the set pieces. And he is probably like the guy I want to go for floor, 6,500. Not bad at all. I think my favorite keeper on the slate is going to be Samir Hadanovich. Liverpool has had trouble putting it past the keeper, but they always get a lot of shots. And so with Samir Hadanovich, great shot stopper. This is not going to show here, but you can see, So I think that Hadanovich at 4,300, just with the way the keeper options end up setting up, I think that Hadanovich is honestly better than any other keeper. Just like when you look at, I don't really want to go all the way up to Neuer or Ulrich, I guess, because Neuer is out. And that's actually really going to hurt Bayern. And then with Liverpool, you have Alisson, 5,100. He's okay. He'd be very similar to like a Donnarumma. You'd probably get the clean sheet to win, maybe a save. But if you really want to, I don't think I'm going to go down to Cone either. I'll explain in a sec, but obviously, but Hadanovich, 4,300, going to be like my today's Thibaut Courtois. So that's kind of Inter for me. I'm probably not going to get to Dzeko. I don't know how expensive Dumfries is, but I probably won't even get there. Is he a midfield too? Yeah, he is. So if he was like a D, just the way this slate is kind of set up, I don't know if I might be more likely to get there, but because he's a mid, I probably won't. Not going to play any of these guys. So it'll probably be maybe a little bit of Perisic, maybe a little bit of Hacken, and that's probably it. I definitely play some Samir Hadanovich. We'll head over to Liverpool side here, and I think a lot of people are just going to come in and they're just going to do this, and they're going to say, "All right, I'm set up, right?" And I understand it. I'm not saying again to fade TAA. I think you play him where you can, but I think that where you should be starting your lineup is probably this. So Andrew Robertson has been getting way more forward than he did. He got pulled out of that game, but anyway, so you can see good Champions League slate. good history, and he's probably he's probably too cheap just at his price. So 6,000 in the EPL ranks, he's up to like 7,000, 8,000. And I know that like TAA has usually been really good, but basically, like I'd explain what's been happening. They've been really since Thiago's come back, and since like even just with the way Liverpool wants to play, is they've really been going down the left side. And the way Klopp does his tactics, so we can see here, I think I can annotate here. So when the ball is on this side of the pitch, right? Then what you're going to see is you're going to see this guy come in here. You're going to see this guy, and then Fabinho's going to drop back, right? And then Firmino's going to come in here, and then the wingers are going to bomb on, right? As they do. And what this means is when like the ball is on the right side, a lot of times like the wing back is going to get forward and cross, which is really good, obviously. But a lot of times like what's been happening with Liverpool, so just clear our drawings, is the ball has been coming down the left side. Thiago has kind of been coming back in here. Fabinho's been dropping here, and that's allowing like Robertson to come over here, and like Mane comes in. And then TAA is the one that's like kind of sitting on top of the box while Firmino drops and Salah comes in, right? So, and then Jordan Henderson is kind of like a free roam. But this means that like Andrew, because it's been coming down the left side, Andrew Robertson has a lot more open play crossing opportunities, right? Because right here, when he gets the ball, he can cut back to TAA or to Thiago, or he can then feed it into Mane. But a lot of times he's just whipping the ball into cross, and then you probably get like Salah or Henderson or even Trent Alexander-Arnold attacking it here. And that is allowing just like a ton of crossing for him. So I think that that's something I really like for that's something I really like. And you can see it in his game logs in the EPL, but even in UCL. And then, so he's getting a lot of crosses, and then they have a complete set split. So when it's on this side of the field, it's out swingers. So whenever there's an outswinger from this side, it's going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold, right-footed outswinger, left-footed outswinger, right? So I think that, and honestly, because of them playing around the left-hand side, it just tends to go out for corners over here. But both have great floor and great value. But I do like Robertson just because of his price a little bit more. And I do think that he's actually been the one getting more forward for fantasy goodness, because we have had TAA coming and living all outside this box, which allows for a lot of shots, which is really good. Maybe TAA has some goal upside that he doesn't normally have, but Andrew Robertson definitely has that floor of crosses and whatnot. So, yeah, that's pretty much Liverpool. I understand if you want to get to Allison. There's one more thing that's actually happening with Liverpool that's kind of interesting. And another reason why TA hasn't had the value necessarily as well, because so Salah comes down, right? And then Henderson kind of like gives TA an outlet on the overlap, right? And because Thiago is kind of playing like out here in this like range over here, he's not as there for the cutback. Thiago comes here even when Andrew Robertson bombs on, right? So what Jordan Henderson is doing is he's kind of sitting right here in this little pocket of space, which is going to allow Trent Alexander-Arnold a couple of options. So TAA can then cross the ball in, but what a lot of times is the center back or right back or left back or whoever's there, one of the backs is going to be trying to cut that cross off, and that allows for a pretty smooth cut back into Henderson, and then Henderson will put in the cross. And we've seen that pretty. I don't know if we saw it in the UCL, but we've seen it a lot in the EPL, which actually allows Henderson to have some value as well. How cheap? And Jordan Henderson's really cheap. So at that point, I actually kind of really like Jordan Henderson, I think, because you can see like he got 1 assist on it. He had a nice game here where he had like he was all over, got a goal, got a couple crosses, right? So I think that Jordan Henderson at 4,100 is probably going to go probably under-owned. And that's kind of just how that Liverpool has been playing. It's a great system by Klopp. Whatever side the wing back, like I said, like the only difference between Robertson and TAA is one, the price, obviously. So Robertson's cheaper, but with Thiago out here, instead of like a Curtis Jones or like, an Oxlade-Chamberlain or even a Naby Keita, Thiago likes to like kind of run the midfield. And so Fabinho drops in as like to cover TAA, it comes to like a pseudo back 3 with Fabinho over here. And then Thiago kind of comes into this space, right? And they overload the center. So that's kind of Liverpool right there. Just to recap, I'll probably get to some Allison, TAA, Andrew Robertson is the priority. You can play Salah, Mane, maybe not in cash, they're both expensive, just the way this in terms of optimals work out, but in GPP for sure. And then Jordan Henderson, 4,100. I really like, you probably even get to Thiago. Does Thiago still have forward eligibility? So that was something that's like dumb because he's never played forward. And like, this is just like, yeah, so you even have forward eligibility. Maybe you need a second forward, go play Thiago. That's ridiculous that he has forward eligibility, but whatever. So that is this game. We'll move on to the next game. And this game is going to be interesting. So we'll start with the Salzburg side. And with this lineup, it's going to be Souček, who has sets. If you don't see Souček, play Ulmer, because Ulmer will have sets. He's the one who's been taken. And I kind of only like this team to hit Bayern on the break. So there's no Neuer. Bayern plays a really, really high line, and Neuer is like one of the best sweeper keepers in the entire world. And so that allows Bayern to play this like super high line with like Neuer back there to cover them. And Ulrich is not Neuer. And so what we saw on the weekend is Bayern got opened up on the break by Bochum. So Bochum. And so they actually lost, I think it was 4-2 to Bochum. And I would say on most of their days, Salzburg is probably better than middle of the table Bochum in the Bundesliga. And it was all on the break. It was Holtmann, it was at Antwi and Daya. And they did play a back 4. I do think they'll go to like more of a back 3, as we can see in SofaScore. This is how they've been playing a lot with like Kingsley and Gnabry as like wing backs in this like kind of 3-4-2-1. But Bayern is live to be opened up on the break. And so there's this guy right here. He's going to Borussia Dortmund. He's going to Dortmund. His name is Karim Adeyemi. And I always get him in my FIFA saves because he is incredibly, incredibly fast. Even in FIFA, he's got like this insane like 97 pace at like 70 overall. 18-year-old kid grows into like great form. And you can see he's got some goal scoring capabilities, some great, like I said, he's going to Dortmund, really, really bright future for him. And so he's been really good for Red Bull Salzburg. And I really, really like him as like a GPP punt, if you will, because of how Bayern's kind of been live to be opened up without Neuer back there. Again, so that's probably all I'm going to, though. I'll probably play Souček here and there. I probably don't go to Kahn. Maybe I play Ulmer. We'll see how cheap he is. So if you don't see Souček, Ulmer's 3,200, so I would go there. Souček is 44, so I'll probably have some of him. But that's kind of how I see it. So, and then wrapping it up, we've got the Bayern, and this game is going to be, this is going to be like the city, okay? except for, like I said, like they're a little bit more live to be opened up than City was today against Sporting. But it's going to come down to like a couple things. So Joshua Kimmich will have sets monopoly. I'm glad he's back because he missed like a lot of the year with like he had COVID and then he had like long COVID issues. He's really struggling with it for a long time. And so he's back though. He's back to playing full 90s, which is good. And he will have sets because when he didn't have sets, like when he wasn't in, you would get like a split between like Sane, Gnabry, Coleman, like Lucas Hernandez took some. It was like Bayern sets were a mess, and it makes fantasy not fun, especially when Bayern's always going to be in a situation to dominate. And then obviously the guy like Lewandowski at 10,000 is just too cheap. Like I can't believe that they put him at 10,000. You can see like he was up to like 12.5 before, like in the group stages, and this insane hat trick against Benfica. And like that's probably like he should be like 12,000, 11,000. The fact that he is 10,000 means that I will probably have almost not 100%, if like maybe 90 or 80%, because I hate going 100% sometimes. But Lewandowski, 10,000, play it. So that is interesting. Then you're like what your option is going to be is like, are you going to play like someone from like Liverpool? Maybe you go down to like a Lautaro Martinez, maybe play Ediami. Right, who's your second forward going to be? A lot of people are going to come in and they're going to probably play Coleman or Leroy Sané. I don't think you can go wrong either. Don't game log watch Sané. He had a like share of direct sets and they destroyed throughout the group stage. 8,500 is okay, but like don't come in expecting him to drop like 21. He'll probably be like around that 15, 16 range in a good game, and then like he has to have an exceptional game to get up there. I like Coleman as well. Like Coleman is always live to just go crazy so fast. One thing with Liverpool, if you don't see Firmino and you see Jota, or maybe you see Diaz, like if you see Diaz, I really like Diaz, Porto guy, really great on the ball. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so Gnabry is a midfield. So like 8,700 is okay. He'll be live to get a lot of crossing in. I don't mind Talisio as well. 4,900. I wish he was a little bit cheaper, but yeah. The issue with this lineup. So if you see them in a back four, Pavard. So say like you get rid of like Talisio, or you get rid of like Gnabry, and you see kind of similar what they did the weekend, where Hernandez is like out wide or Pavard is out wide. I like both of them as wide attacking players, but if they are in a back three, I'm probably good. It is very likely that as well, like maybe they play Upamecano and play back four. There's no Alphonso Davies, still dealing with my myocarditis. So yeah, just watch out to see where Hernandez plays, because Hernandez is cheap. He's like 3,900. This is like a thing with the slate too. Like I feel like a lot of people are gonna play TAA because of the lack of like wing back options. Like Inter plays a back three. Bayern's been playing back three here and there. And then you probably don't like want to play a Salzburg guy unless you have like Andreas Olmar and you have no Sucic. So yeah, and I think like Sucic will probably start, but he'll have sets if he is in. Yeah. So this is kind of what I'm going to do here. I'll give you a little skeleton, as I always do. Not going to go as full because like there isn't like as many like definitely plays. But I'll explain, like, this is probably how I'm going to start out a lot of lineups. It's Lewandowski, Kimmich, Robertson, Handanovic. Maybe for your second midfielder, you want to play Hakan Kaluhan. I don't know how to say his name. Turkish midfielder. Very live to have most of the set pieces. If you don't see him for whatever reason, because they have been like he hasn't played every Champions League game, like Perisic will have sets. But maybe you want to come in like this is where it gets tough to like play like Salah and Mane. Mane is way live at 6,800, I think. So maybe that's what you do. You go 6,800 for Mane. And then I didn't even know Gersson's sent to Inter. I thought he was still on Atalanta. So too bad he's out because I love Gosens. Maybe so maybe it's like a back four and you play like Hernandez. If it's not a back four, maybe you play TAA and then you come off Mane. And then like this is where it's gonna be interesting to find your like punt, if you will. I think Henderson would be like a pretty good option there. Maybe play like Adiami. So yeah, you can start filling this lineup out. But once you start to like get that second like expensive Liverpool option, it really hurts you. But yeah, so that's the slate, guys. If you guys have any questions, make sure you leave a comment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can find me at Twitter at ZachWDFS, or just get in the Discord. You'll have direct access to me, even without being like a Patreon member. We do have like a general Discord, like I said, and like you can always message me on there. And so yeah, thank you guys so much. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Do join the Patreon. If you guys want to see more content like this, you want access to my projections for soccer, they've been doing quite well. You can get in there and check that out. So on that, guys, good luck tomorrow. And yeah, good luck.